Welcome to episode 7, and I'm excited for this one. Rich, how are you? We are talking all about the 12 steps.
The 12 steps and the fellowship, and what that really means. And we'll really get into that. I'm excited about this episode because there's a lot to unpack, and I want to explain a few things about the 12 steps and what that actually means. But Ben, before that, how's your week? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm really good. I might actually be a bit odorous today. You know, I mentioned the body odour on Park Run a couple of episodes ago. Well, we were in the garden during the week and smelled a bit of a funny old odour. I was like, oh, God, here we go. Anyway, looked down and, beneath we've sort of got a little decking area. One of the drains is blocked.
Oh.
So, of course, weeks of collated water had risen and risen.
Leaves, old leaves.
So here I go, handy Andy, eat your heart out. Down I go, tracky bottoms rolled up to my knees, the skinny calves on display, wrecked a pair of trainers, got in there in this cesspit of dank water to unblock the drain, and oh God, it was like, fantastic. So I definitely haven't got body odour. I've triple applied the antiperspirant today for the episode, Rich. But just that stench of the water, I think it's like lingering over me. It's like a bit of like a cheap aftershave. It's like when I used to try and woo the girls in sixth form with my high karate. So I apologise.
Is that what you used to smell like after a night on the booze when you were still drinking? Probably.
Yeah. The stench, God, like dank links, God knows what. But Rich, you're looking good. Love the black tea. For a minute then I thought it was like, it's like Tom Cruise meets Ross Kemp.
That'll do.
Tom Kemp, character actor,
yes.
Looking good.
Ross Cruise.
Have you been to you're looking good, mate.
Mate, I haven't. Listen, I've been out.
You look good.
Thank you very much. I've been walking and I've been trying to get out in the fresh air and stuff. I haven't been to the gym and done like a proper workout for a while, but it is, I think I'm going to start swimming because I've got a lot of aches and pains these days, and it's just, I think it's just because I'm getting.
Do you find my knees are fucked?
Yeah, I do. So I think swimming low impact. So I'm going to get back in the pool, I think. But the warmer weather's on its way, so I'm not in a freezing cold change room in some municipal pool somewhere.
Speedos?
Yeah, no. I did buy a pair of Speedos for a holiday. Like, have you worn them as an adult?
I don't know what happened. It must have been in my drinking days, but I had the image that I would look all right in a pair of Speedos. When I pulled them on, I went from a baritone to a top tenor in about 3 seconds. It was not a good sight. There was and guttingly, there's no room for my 25-meter badge either.
I bought a pair, and I bought. I do own a pair of Speedos, but not to wear just on their own. So when you buy a pair of swimming shorts and it's got the lining in it, hasn't it? The kind of the mesh,
the underpant lining.
When that gets wet, that really makes my butt cheeks really itchy. So I thought, oh God,
what do they call it? Have you heard the phrase "bum honey"?
No, I haven't. What's bum honey? What is that?
I can't believe I'm sharing this, but hey, it's sober life, guys. So it's that kind of little feeling when you've sort of maybe been walking all day, and Rich and I call it, it's a bit burgle. When you've got like a layer on too many, it's a bit warm, and just that little feeling down below. It's like, ooh, good morning, sire. Bum honey.
I know what that is, and also known as swamp ass.
Oh, Jesus!
Where are we going with the podcast?
I know.
What have we resigned ourselves
apologise.
to? But that being said, I'm gonna. I appreciate your kind words about how I'm looking. This T-shirt, as you said, it's an All Saints one. Okay. It's from Bicester Village, the popular outlet centre, Bicester Village.
Nice.
So it's a decent price for an All Saints T-shirt, but. What is it at the moment these days? Everything I wash shrinks. So I'm having to buy everything like 2 sizes bigger because I know when it's washed, and I have to wash my clothes, otherwise I'll smell like the drain. But
what do you wash them on? Like 40 or?
No,
they say go down to 30.
Mate, I'm down to 20. I'm washing it at 20 degrees. 20? And if it's underwear, it's got to be a 40. Sometimes the point, do you know what? We should stop now.
Rich, let's stop. Who's in the frame?
Who's in the frame? We have a picture frame on our coffee table here. If you're listening, I'm going to explain to you who's in that frame. It's a regular feature we do on the podcast. Who's in the frame this week is Daniel Radcliffe is in the frame, Harry Potter himself. Yeah. So I thought he'd be an interesting one to get in the
Yeah.
frame because he got sober very young. And I think there's a lot of young people now that are choosing a life of, being teetotal or
Yeah.
sobriety just out of choice because it wasn't like it was when we were very young and it was like, right, let's all go to the pub, like where we going, just getting sort of boozed up and
Yeah.
drugged up regularly. But he said, I did some research on him, and he said that the pressures of playing Harry Potter from such a young age,
Gosh, yeah.
when he got into sort of early adulthood, he needed it to cope. It was a coping mechanism. He was drinking. He was, he was using it to relax himself, and he got to a point where this is not working for me. This is not good for me. My sort of my mental headspace, my physical health. Just as we always talk about, just being productive, being able to live a successful life.
Yeah.
And probably, he was a very recognizable face and still is. And so needed to make some changes. So I thought we'll have Daniel Radcliffe in the frame today. He got sober in, in 2013 and has been sober ever since. And he credits the strength of his friends and his close network and the support he received from them as keeping him on his sober journey. So yeah, today Daniel Radcliffe is in the frame.
Yeah, and I think that's fantastic that you see his career grow and grow, not just movies, of course, not just typecast as Harry Potter. It's almost like, I imagine, knowing from my experience, it's given him the fearlessness to try new projects, theatre, musicals, learning new skills, trying new opportunities.
And I would imagine, especially for him at his level, I mean, I don't know if he still auditions, he may just get offered stuff we don't know, but that's a pressure, isn't it, in itself? Because especially like trying to learn script and dialogue and be on set surrounded by, 50, 80, 100 people every day. That's got to be a pressure. And knowing, probably sitting in your trailer, knowing you've got to come out and deliver on a hangover or a come down or no sleep. It's like, that's got to be tough. So just, all credit to Daniel Radcliffe. We continue to get so many lovely emails, DMs. I'm overwhelmed by it. Like it's really fantastic, and we're reaching so many people.
Yeah. It's not, it's not by chance that like-minded people are getting in touch and saying hello, because people are sort of enjoying listening to us, hopefully. And we're just enjoying helping people, and we really appreciate your response. Yeah,
we really do. We're building our audience, building our community, and people that are on the same journey as us, or people that are curious about that journey.
Yeah.
So I just want to read this one out because this was a lovely message.
Amazing.
It's an email, and it's from Alex, and he says, "Hi Rich, hi Ben. I just wanted to reach out and say thank you for what you're doing with the sober men. I've been following your content on TikTok and listening to the podcast, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm 78 days sober today. Fantastic. Well done, Alex.
Great.
And currently working through my step 9 of the 12 steps, which is making my amends, which links in very nicely to our episode today, because we're going to be talking about the 12 steps, aren't we? Hearing men speak openly about sobriety, growth, and taking responsibility has genuinely helped me massively along the way. Your message really resonates with me, and the idea of creating something like what you're doing and helping other people while sharing the message is something I'd love to do myself in the future. Just wanted to send some appreciation and encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. It makes a real difference. All the best, Alex." Thank you, Alex, so much.
Man.
What a lovely email. Congratulations on your 78 days. And keep going, keep listening, and share the message.
Yeah, Alex, thank you. And I'm really not like making this up or anything. It's properly touching. When I think how sad I was when I was drinking, and just how far I thought I had to go to even share this concern or problem with anybody, to doing it, to fighting it, to beating it, to wanting a better life, to getting a better life, to sharing it with you, Rich, sharing it with our listeners. From that place, I can picture myself in bed, hungover under my duvet, rotting. And now we're sat here open, I'm feeling fresh, happy, and getting feedback from people who are relating to our story. It is properly touching. So thank you, Alex. That's amazing. Have a great day wherever you're listening. Thank you.
Alex, and the same for me. Thank you so much for emailing in. So today's theme, what are the 12 steps, Ben? Now, I will just say this. There's many ways that people get sober. You and I, as we said before, have followed a different journey to get sober, but the outcome is the same. We're living a life of sobriety. Because there's things like apps that you can follow. There is like online research. I even read that someone had used ChatGPT for their
Really?
sobriety journey. Yeah, like logging
Wow.
things, asking questions,
Okay.
and that's helped them as well. There's also things like just, free will, willpower, and
Mm.
all those are fine, I think, for if you think this, alcohol or drugs, whatever, not serving you, and you need to make a change and you're strong enough to do it.
Yeah.
But there are many people that can't just do it alone, and they
Yeah.
need a support network, and they need a community, and they need specific guidance to help them stay sober and on the straight and narrow. And they kind of need a mapped out structure.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, for millions and millions of people around the world, that has been life changing for them. And
It
just
seems like the bedrock to your life, to
yeah,
their lives.
yeah,
And
yeah.
again, a very different approach to sobriety that I took and went through. And almost it's like, what I love about chatting to you about it, Rich, you're humanizing it. It's like not this almost mythical thing that I might have heard about. Like, is it a mystery room you'll go to? You like have you got the what's it called? The not The Apprentice. What's the Claudia Winkleman program?
Oh, the traitors.
The Traitors. You're not there with the cloaks over your head
Yeah.
going, oh, I don't drink Carly anymore.
Mm.
It's like you're making it real, and it seems like a very almost contemporary structure to living your life.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It's true. And it's interesting because, I mean, I want to do like a bit of myth busting as well today.
Yeah,
and sort of
please
like
do.
a quick history and stuff. So a quick history. So the alcohol, there's a lot of different fellowships, and they all kind of follow a similar path. They use the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, which we'll talk about as well.
Yeah. We have that on the set,
Yeah,
don't we?
we
It's
do.
been
We have
with
on the
us
set. Yeah, I
since
have one
Ep1.
here, which is kind of like the mantra of how the 12 steps work. So quick history. I wrote some notes down here. So AA, which is Alcoholics Anonymous, was founded in 1935 by Bill Wilson, or Bill W, as people call him.
Right.
And he was a Wall Street investor whose life was ruined by chronic alcoholism. And Dr. Bob Smith, he was an Akron surgeon, and they met and they created the AA, which is the Alcoholics Anonymous. So they developed a program that required abstinence combined with peer support and connection they had experienced, focusing on shared experience to stay sober. All right.
Wow. So they were alcoholics.
They were alcoholics. So Bill W, he'd struggled with the dependency to alcohol for years and years and years, and there was no help. He didn't know how to stop. He wanted to stop. It was ruining his life. He was a Wall Street investor. I believe it was troublesome in his marriage and his relationships.
God, can you imagine that feeling?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Poor guy.
Yeah, of course. And I imagine a pressurized job as well. Even back in the 1930s, Wall Street, it was full on.
High powered.
So they met and they developed this program. And then Bill W. wrote the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, commonly known as the Big Book, in 1939. And that detailed the 12 steps of recovery. And that book is used in the fellowship. So that's what you use with your sponsor. I'll talk about what it is to be a sponsor in a moment. There's AA, which is Alcoholics Anonymous, CA, Cocaine Anonymous, NA, Narcotics Anonymous. And of course, now we have like Overeaters Anonymous. I think there's Sex Addiction Anonymous. There's help and a fellowship for everything. Yeah. So what I want to talk about is, so when you go into the fellowship, and let's just bust a couple of myths about that. First of all, I know that a lot of people, especially that I speak to now, that are wanting to get sober or feel that they need some help, they say to me, oh, but I don't want to do AA, I don't want to do CA, because it's a religious cult. Now, I will just say, hands down, that is absolutely not what the fellowships are. They are community-based, and they are there to give you a unity and a support network that you can share your story and your problems and your issues, and you can listen to other like-minded people. What it is, it's a spiritual and sort of a behavioral framework for recovery, and it works through community, honesty, and basically sharing your stories. So there's always
just like we do, essentially.
Exactly, Ben. And this is when we go through these 12 steps today, even though you've not done the 12 steps, I bet you there are many of those steps that you've already done and you put into practice without realizing. So full disclosure, I'm not a religious guy. I don't believe in God. It's not for me. I respect that people do. but I don't personally. And the word God in the program is used frequently.
Yeah.
But what you are taught to do is whatever that word God means to you. The word God is just an easy way of something that is your higher power.
Right.
That is something that you use as your support, your anchor. For example, when I say the word God in the fellowship, that could be, for example, you. You could be my support network, something that I might pray to, or something
Yeah.
that gives me strength, and something that is different, and it isn't just me. It's something that
Okay.
is bigger than myself. There's someone else or something else in the world that's bigger than just me, because as we know, alcoholism and being in deep-rooted addiction and also struggling, it's a very lonely place to be. So it's
Yeah.
basically saying that there is something else out there that is
Yeah.
bigger than you that can help you.
So it's kind of like, essentially, in that case, it's an anchor. Could it be an experience or a place? Could that be your,
Yes, it can
like,
be.
your sort of higher power?
Yep, your higher
Is it
power.
like a comfort where you feel like you're not alone?
Exactly. So
Which is where we spent years being.
absolutely.
During.
So your higher power could be, it's of your choice.
Yeah.
So whatever your higher power is, it could be the ocean, for example.
Okay.
The ocean is massive, as we know.
Yeah.
The ocean is more powerful than us. Do you see what I mean? It could
Yeah.
be the strength of your friends.
Yeah.
It could be, a destination that you've been to that you're like,
Yeah.
when I was there, I felt really. So you use that as your anchor and your higher power.
Yeah.
So when you hand stuff over and you get out of self,
Yeah.
you use that as your
Okay.
power.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
So you don't have to physically be there or
Nope.
be with that person. It's just
No.
somebody that you can tap into from afar.
Yeah.
That's a comfort to
Yeah,
you.
yeah. And it could be, we have those moments in life, don't we, where you go, you know what? I got offered this job and then
Yeah.
it was taken away from me at the last moment. And I thought, what am I going to do? And then this job came along and I
Yeah.
thought, wow, well, if I'd have accepted and the first job
Yeah.
had have happened, this one that I'm doing now, which I love,
Yeah.
would never
I've
have happened.
I've had
So
it.
you could argue and you can say that is a higher power
Okay,
moment.
right.
It's something at play that is
Yeah.
bigger than you that you had no control of. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And we've been out of control a lot whilst
Yeah.
we've been, drinking.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah.
also, I find, Rich, is it the feeling of, when you have had a bit of a shitty day and you stick the news on and suddenly you're out of your head, you're looking elsewhere, and
Yeah.
it's a realization that it's not just me in this world.
Yeah.
It's not just what I'm worried about up here in my grey matter. There's bigger things happening,
At play.
evolving, at play,
Yep.
that we try and live through, that we try and live the right way through, I guess.
Yeah. Which is exactly that, because when you go into the fellowship, it's difficult to do it because you're so consumed with yourself at that time.
Yeah.
But getting out of self and understanding there are people suffering from the same thing that
Yeah.
you've been suffering from, and some of them could be worse, some of them could
Yeah.
be better. What you are supposed to do is look for the similarities in people's stories
Okay.
rather than the differences.
Yeah.
For example, we could sit in a fellowship meeting, and there could be someone that is as a builder. There could be someone that's a Hollywood superstar.
Yeah.
There could be someone that's a CEO of a company. There could be someone that works on the checkout in Tesco. Regardless of what they do as a career, regardless of how much money they've got, regardless of how successful or unsuccessful their lives have been, the disease of addiction and the struggles you're going through is the same. That doesn't discriminate. Everyone at that point, there'll be something in everyone's story that you can relate to.
That you can pull from, that
Exactly.
you can use, I guess, to aid your happiness.
Exactly.
On a day-to-day basis, on a momentary basis. It doesn't have to be one a day. I guess it's just there for you to just to kind of steer you through a good day, I guess.
Yeah. And that first step of going into a meeting, finding a meeting, of which you can find meetings online. There's a great knowledge online of where to, there's the AA website, there's the CA website, there's the NA website. You can find a meeting and it will be in your local area, and you can go to that meeting. And listen, it's scary. You're going into something with a load of people that you don't know.
Yeah.
And you're feeling you're going to have to bare your soul,
Yeah.
which you don't have to do initially.
That's great, because I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
I know you said on one of the apps that after 20 minutes of your first meeting on Zoom, your first AA meeting, that you knew, I want what they've got. And you've got it. My God. Well done again.
Thank you.
So bloody proud of you, mate. But yeah, so there's not that instant need to share. You can just sit and be and absorb until you're ready to contribute, I guess.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Absolutely. You can sit there because you are taught also to just listen.
Yeah.
Listen, these people that are in this fellowship here, these people that may have a week, a month, a year, multiple years clean and sober, clearly it's working for those people. Something that's happened has worked for them.
Yeah.
And this is why you're told to just listen and absorb, look for the similarities, the difference, and keep coming back. Give it a go. If all else has failed and you can't get yourself sober, why not try it? Why not try it? Don't go into it thinking it's a religious cult. It isn't. Go into it thinking it's spiritual. It's about personal growth, and it's about doing these steps and going through these steps and putting a little bit of work in, because that will help you as it's worked for millions of people.
Yeah. And it is putting some work in as well. It's not, I imagine, just as in my route, it's not an instant you wake up cured almost. Today I'm working on myself, and I'm sure you do, but just again, it's another wonderful support that's there.
Now, in those meetings, at some point, it's advisable and it's suggested for you to get a sponsor. Now, what a sponsor is an addict helping another addict. So say, for example, I'm in the meeting and you come into the meeting and you come back a few times, and I see you there regularly, and I maybe share my story. I share my experience of hope, faith, and courage. And you come to me and you go, "Hi, I'm Ben. I'm new. I want to do my 12 steps. I'm listening to what people are saying. It's resonating with me. I'm struggling. I need some help. Can you help me? Will you be my sponsor?" And I will say, "Ben, happily, I will be your sponsor." So I will essentially now be your point of contact, if you like.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll swap phone numbers. I will say to you, phone me. You're advised to do 90 early sobriety, 90 meetings in 90 days.
Okay.
Which sounds like a lot.
Okay.
Right? And
physical,
it
like
is,
in person.
well, if you can. But obviously you have got the option of Zoom meetings now as well. But it's basically getting you to be regular every day, doing a meeting to get to retraining your brain into doing something that is positive and getting you into a place where you can stop struggling eventually, right?
And I guess it can become part of your structure to a day as well, which is so important when you first choose sobriety, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's massive.
Yeah. And so if I'm your sponsor now, and I will say to you, "Right, Ben, because I need to know how serious you are about this, because I can be there for you, but you have to make some effort to get yourself better and to stay better." So I will say to you, "Ben, okay, midday every day, I want you to phone me and tell me how you're doing and what meeting you're doing today."
Yeah.
I'm not going to phone you. It's now up to you. You want to get sober. You want to live a life beyond your wildest dreams, right? You want to feel healthy and you want to feel ready for the world. So you will phone me at 12:30 every day. And it might just be for 1 minute. "Hi, Rich, just checking in. I've had a decent morning, had a coffee, went for a walk, and I've got a meeting at 3:30 on Zoom." Great. And I go, "Brilliant, Ben, that's great. Speak to you tomorrow."
Well, it's given you the first sort of eons of responsibility again.
Exactly.
It's with you.
Exactly. And also, talking about responsibility, I'm glad you brought that up, is that in the meetings, if it's a physical meeting, you are suggested you get a commitment as soon as possible. Now, commitments mean it's non-denominational and it's non-political, the fellowship. So basically it's all about donations. And so there's no money, no one's paying for it. So you might put a little pound in, or 20p or nothing if you can't afford it, because it's you we want in the fellowship. We don't want your money. But commitments would be, for example, I'll be like, "Ben, You've been at this meeting a month now. You've come every week. We need someone to make the tea. So your commitment would be, right, well, Ben, you're going to arrive 15 minutes before the meeting. Your job is to put the biscuits on the plate and make the tea for everyone.
There wouldn't be many biscuits left if that was my job.
Not yourself.
So where the bourbons.
Yeah. And then you've got a greeter. So when people come in.
It's just little roles within.
Within that.
Nice.
Where
that.
Where someone comes in and you are the first person they see. And mate, you'd be brilliant greeter because you've got a big smile. You're so welcome. You go hello, and it might be, hi, I'm Audrey.
Okay, so literally it's like.
And you're like, hey, Audrey, you're very welcome. First meeting, great. Come and sit down.
Amazing.
Listen, there's some biscuits there, and Jeff's making the tea, whatever that might be. Yeah. So there's those small roles which are they're important, but then they're kind of sort of low status. Do you know what I mean? You don't need, it's not too, but what it does again, it gives you that structure, gives you responsibility, and you're doing something for someone else, right? Which in turn helps you. And of course, those roles increase, and you can work up to being a secretary and that kind of stuff, right? So going back to being a sponsor, you would then phone your sponsor at 12:30 every day if that's the day that you've decided on. And then your sponsor will go, right, we've been doing this for a month now. Let's start the steps. So that's where we're going to get into it. So,
and is it an order of the steps? Is it like a tick list, or are they sort of units within the 12 steps that you can just pull in and out as and when? Initially you go through them in an order?
You go through them in an order. Okay. So in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, we call it the big book. That is the framework of how the steps work. And what it does through that is explain each step and each feeling and each process through a series of reading it and going, oh my God, I did that. Oh my God, that's me. And now that book was 1939. When I went through that book with my sponsor, because what happens is I did it we were on a Zoom call, me and my sponsor, because it was COVID. So there was no physical meetings at that time. And you go through the book, and before you've gone through the book, your sponsor advised you to read it. This is what happened with me, and highlight passages that resonate with you. Okay. Which are, and do you know what I'll do? Actually, I've got it here. I'll read you a passage that resonated with me. Okay, this is a passage from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. From the doctor's opinion, which is like the foreword.
Right.
Okay, it says, there is the type who always believes that after being entirely free from alcohol for a period of time, he can take a drink without danger. Right? That is a moment in that I thought that resonates with me, because you think, as we've said before, wow, I'm okay after a few days, or I'll be okay to have another one. And before you know, you're back. So it's littered with highlighted pages that I've highlighted whilst I went through the 12 steps.
Like great nuggets of support.
Exactly, which you can then reference, as we just did then, and go through it. Now, as you go through the steps, you'll be going, right, we're going to do your step one. And step one is got in the big book, you go through the passages of scripture and you talk about it with your sponsor, and you'll things like that will flag up, you'll then discuss it. So it takes a bit of time and a bit of effort.
Yeah.
So step one is admitting powerlessness. Okay. Got it written here. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, and you can substitute the word alcohol with whatever whether it's marijuana, whether it's cocaine, whatever that is. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. So that's step one. It's essentially surrendering.
Yeah.
You surrender, and it isn't just about going, I'm powerless. Yeah, fine. The book and that step one will take you through the processes, how you felt, how to remedy that, what you've gone through. And it's so crazy to me that book was published in 1939, and I read that step one, and it could have been written about me yesterday.
It's crazy, isn't
everyone that reads it says the same thing.
Yeah.
You go, how is this book?
It's like mind-blowing, isn't it?
It really is.
Like, what a realization.
Yeah. And you go through that with your sponsor. He'll read a passage, you'll read a passage, and then you'll talk about it and dissect it. And you'll look for the similarities in your life to that particular step. You see what I mean? So essentially,
everything is anchored from your life, from your experiences to the steps,
and
essentially.
And that step one is like, freedom comes from sort of stopping the fight.
Yeah.
You kind of go, I've
It's-
surrendered.
It's like, it's rock bottom, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, and things can only get better from here. But that
Yeah.
surrender moment, I guess for me, was the moment where I was like, I know it's time, but I really had to feel that. I really had to feel that.
You do. You have to feel it, and that is what gives you that. It releases you.
Yeah.
You know.
And is it kind of instantly then, through meeting with your sponsor, when you're going through the step one initially, that is it a sudden realization of like, yeah, that's me? Or is the beauty of it as well that there is time to absorb what you've been discussing, and you know, you can relate to things away from a meeting?
Yeah, you can. And I just think what it does, it shows you that there is a way out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
So that's step one, and you go through that with your sponsor and you discuss it, and you get to a point where eventually your sponsor will go, okay, we've talked about this, we've gone through this work, and you've completed your step one. And you go, okay, great, on step two. And that in itself, you go,
what a moment.
I've done step one. Wow, I feel great. For, and it really does.
And that feeling, for anyone who is sober curious, we both had that feeling in different ways, didn't we, Rich?
Absolutely.
But that feeling, when you know that I've made this decision, things can only get better.
Oh, yeah.
And it's an emotional, mental release that just floods out of you. And it's almost like, I don't think it was instant for me, but the excitement I got to know that I'd had the courage to face a problem that so many people keep hidden, that don't address, that don't work towards fighting. It's like, there's an end to it.
That's it.
There's an end to it. There's a better life.
You take the power out of it and you hand it over. Step two is essentially sort of believing change is possible. So step two is we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity.
Right.
So it's about hope, and it's believing that recovery is possible. And yet again, it's in the book. You go through the work and you read it, you discuss it. I think you do a little bit of a bit of journaling as well, and you write some stuff down. And it's that power, as we said before, come to believe that a power greater than ourselves. People use the word God. People believe in God.
Yeah.
But it's essentially, like we said earlier on, something greater than ourselves can restore us. Something that is bigger than us.
Yeah.
We are not the center of the universe. And our drinking and our using and our behavior was very self-centered for so many years.
Yeah.
So it's basically saying there is something bigger than me here, and something like that I can, rely on, that I can pray to if you want to pray. There is something bigger than you that can restore you to sanity. And you go through that with your sponsor. And it's sort of borrowing belief from others that, that when you don't have it yet.
Yeah.
This other person has done this. They've done it and it's worked. So I need to believe that it's possible for me.
Well, it's like a lot of things in life. If you see and can be party to somebody who's achieving something in their life or had an experience, you just learn off that, don't you? You can share that and absorb it. And, exactly. Feed on it.
You really do. Yeah. Step three, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over. Now, some people say turn over to the care of God or turn over to your higher power, whatever you kind of aspire to be, and whatever your higher power might be to you. You basically, it's about letting go of control and trusting something else, someone else, that you can make that change. And again, it's all in the book, and you go through it and you read those passages with your sponsor and you'll go, oh my God, how have I not known this before?
Mate, it's generally making me smile because it's all those feelings flooding back to me that I had when I became sober. Like, there is a better life. That I'm in bed, I'm safe, I'm going to have a good sleep, I'm going to wake up fresh, I'm going to have a great day tomorrow, I'm going to be honest to myself and just feel closer to my loved ones.
Exactly.
Like, it's a real, God, I'm like tingling weirdly. Because it's like, it's real. You can feel these emotions. When you take on board the 12 steps or becoming sober, as I did, with, I guess, a bit of willpower, using apps and just knowing that it wasn't for me. And that feeling is there. It's reachable.
Yeah, you can have it. You can. It's there. And it's essentially sort of step 3 there is it's living with guidance rather than ego.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't do it. You have to get out of yourself.
Yeah.
It's self-destructive independence to humility.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
and again, we're touching on each of these steps, but in the book, it dives into that, and you do a little self-dissection, self-reflection, and that really helps because you start learning a lot more about yourself.
Yeah.
So step 4. So this is a tough one. This one. So it's sort of the honest self-reflection step.
Okay.
So step 4 is you make a searching and fearless moral inventory of yourselves.
Okay.
Right. So this would be, you have a bit of paperwork to do on this one, and you've got little columns, and you've got a harms column, you've got a resentments column, you've got a behaviors, and you've got a sexual conduct column.
Okay.
And what you have to do, and when it says searching and moral inventory, you have to do it honestly. There's no point in leaving anything out.
Yeah.
Because this is about restarting, rebalancing, being accountable, honest, and owning everything.
Yeah.
And
it's a reboot.
It's a reboot, right? And you can only reboot yourself by being honest and being able to let that stuff go. Now, step 4 can take a bit of time because you might touch on in the book that we're starting step 4 now.
Yeah.
And then you'll have this little bit of paperwork, a little bit of admin to do. I don't want that to put anyone off. It's not, you're not in a classroom, but it's important. Searching and fearless moral inventory. And you write down everything you can ever think of. And you may in the future think of something else and go, oh, I need to put that in my moral inventory, my searching, fearless and moral inventory. And you write down everything that you're resentful about, everything, every person, everything that you've harmed. Sexual conduct's very important. Relationships, bad decisions you've made, anyone you may have hurt emotionally. And it's those columns, and you write it all down because you are essentially getting out what you may have been keeping secret, the hurt that you might be carrying around because you've hurt someone else, or you've left a relationship, or maybe there may have been infidelity. Anything that you've done, and anything that you've harmed, and anything that you've been resentful of. And then you write down what your part in that was.
Right. Okay.
For each of those things.
So you're freeing yourself
through
through this
that
process.
Stuff. Yeah.
Which is making you lighter.
Yeah. You stop blaming everyone else and you start taking responsibility for yourself. And trust me when I say, when you do that and you read it back, it can be devastating because you feel a lot of shame, and you are hurting because of the things that you've done.
You're
and
like
said.
Revisiting, I guess, aren't you? Bless you, mate.
But it's very important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
It's almost like the catalyst to beginning to free yourself up to a truthful, honest existence.
Yeah, exactly. So you read it to yourself and you go, wow. And then you add as much as you can. But again, I must stress, fearless and more, and searching and fearless. So it might take a few weeks, could take a month, it could take 6 weeks, longer to get all that down.
And there's no time limit, right?
No time limit. No, you
have all the time in the world.
You also write down your fears, what you're fearful of, and you get it out of yourself and you get it onto a page. And we've talked about, especially in men not being able to talk about things. It can be quite, you feel yourself hyperventilating, having to write this down because it could be stuff deep, dark rooted secrets. Yeah. But you get it out. Okay. So that's step 4. Now, step 5 can be, it can be equally as traumatic to start with, but it's sharing the truth that you admit to yourselves and you admit to another human being the exact nature of your wrongs. So that means,
and is that to your sponsor?
Yes, that's what I did to my sponsor. Yeah. So I sat there and it took many hours. We sat there and we had the time because it was COVID, 3-4 hours.
Yeah, really rich.
And you share that And obviously your sponsor is someone at that point that you've built a level of trust with. That person has gone through the same process as you. So they understand. They understand how difficult it was. I feel very lucky with my sponsor. We followed a very similar pattern in our lives, completely different working environments, completely different lives, but our conduct and the way we behaved, we had so many similarities. So I felt comfortable. And you go through each of those fears, harms, conducts, behaviors, sexual conducts, and you share that with another person. And that person does not sit there and go, okay, no, you're an arsehole. They go, okay, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That must have been hard. Well done. And we talk about it and we talk about it, and you release yourself from all this.
Do you feel it instantly?
Oh, yeah.
Does it just flow?
It was hard. There was a lot of tears.
You?
There was a lot of sadness, a lot of anger, a lot of happiness, because you go through your life and you're
revisiting. It's the roller coaster of your life, aren't you?
But Christ alive, it was cathartic.
Really?
Sorry to blaspheme, but it was. My God, it was just. I really felt a weight lifted off, and it doesn't make it okay that I behaved in those ways. And as we've said before, I wasn't just an absolute arsehole my whole life. I did some good things, but there were behaviors that were not good, and ways that I treated people that were, awful. And you are taking the power out of that. And it's the first step to, it's the first part of getting yourself to a place where you can take ownership of that. You're only as sick as your secrets. Do you know what I mean? So you take the power out of it. So step 6 is it's a willingness to change. So you're entirely ready to have these defects of character removed. Okay. So you've shared them. You want to alleviate yourself of that problem. And you're cleaning your own side of the street by taking responsibility and knowing that those things didn't happen. But I'm sure you probably had that as well, didn't you? Like
when I became sober, Rich, it was, I knew that I kind of had an inbuilt steel from things I've got through my life. And that's what I've tapped into to help me with my sobriety. But what is so interesting hearing you talk about the steps so far, it's like, I get it. It's almost like feelings that I had just without using the 12 steps as an anchor,
Yeah, it's true. And as again, all those steps, the 5, 6, and 7, which we'll touch on now, they're all the work is in the book as well. So you do that work, but then you read about it and how it works.
So you have the backup, you have more information
and something to reference in the future. Episode 7. That's the episode we're on. Step 7 is basically.
We should call them episodes.
Yeah.
12
step 7
episodes.
it's asking for help. To change. So it's basically humbly asking for your shortcomings to be removed. It's about finding humility. It's accepting you can't transform alone. You need help. You can't do it alone. So that's 7.
There's something so admiring in humility, Rich. Like you've got it by the bucket loads, and hearing what you've gone through, I've just got so much admiration for you. Honestly, because it's stuff that I feel kind of lucky. I don't know if that's the right word, but I've done it just with my odd personality, and I've got that route and using apps and
there's something to be said for that as well.
And that way, but it's all feelings that I've had and suffered and tried to work through and have done, thank goodness. But to hear the work you've put in, Rich, genuinely, it's like I've so much respect for you.
Oh, mate, I bless you.
And
I appreciate
and
it.
Again, you're just so open to help others as well. That's the beauty of it.
Well, you try. You know, that's what
you must be. Honestly, be so proud of yourself.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Be so
I
proud of
appreciate
yourself.
But this is why I'm wanting to do this today to go to show people that, like we said before, it's not a religious cult that you're going to be indoctrinated in and you're never going to escape. It's the tools to help you. Step 8 is making a list of all the people you have harmed and be willing to make amends. Okay. So you basically write down everyone you've hurt. As far as you can remember for your whole life, and you want to essentially repair the damage. So you do that, and then step 9 is making your amends. So
apologies.
Being prepared to make amends to people you have hurt, but where possible.
Right.
So sometimes, do you know what I mean? So so there may be someone that,
Just
someone may
doesn't
have
want to
gone
know,
through,
maybe.
doesn't want to know, not interested. It may have been so traumatic and so debilitating for them that they're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
The key is that you are prepad to make that amends. Do you see what I mean?
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So say we'd have a terrible relationship, you and I, years ago. I'd hurt you, I'd upset you, I'd said some disgusting things.
So literally, you would reach out to somebody.
I'd reach out to you,
literally a text. I don't know.
Yeah, you can reach out. You can do it many ways. If you have a direct contact with that person, because some of those people may still be in your life, and so you can say, "Do you mind if we have a chat?" And then you go, "I want to officially sort of do my step 9 amends to you." But some people you may not have seen for many years. You could send a message through someone else. Would this person be prepared to hear me out?
Feelers out almost.
And you might get, no, they're not. And you go, that's fine. But you've been prepared to make that amends.
You've been on the front foot.
Yeah, exactly. And some of them are living amends. Like some of them, you're always making amends by showing how you live your life now. And it's about cleaning your side of the street. And it's not about just giving an empty apology.
Yeah.
What it's about is going through what happened, whatever the situation must have been between you and that person, and going, I understand I did this.
Yeah.
I take accountability for that. I know this would have been difficult because I was behaving like that.
It's like complete ownership. And acknowledgement of your involvement in a predicament, isn't it?
But not to alleviate what you did.
Yeah.
Because whatever that was will always exist, right? And you can take ownership and apologize for it, but then you live your life. You need to, you're showing that you live your life in a different way now, and you understand what you did before was wrong. Right. And that, step 9, can be a very tough one because you're revisiting traumatic experiences and it has to be a healthy amends. Like it can't be, if it's going to be very detrimental to you or that person, like sometimes just living your life a different way can be enough. The fact that you're prepared to clean your side of the street, as you just said, accountability, ownership, and being ready to live your life a different way. Okay.
Yeah.
For me, there was ex-girlfriends, there was friends, family members.
Yeah.
Not one person turned around to me and said, I'm not interested.
Really?
Which was unbelievable, to be honest.
Because they knew you're a good guy.
Even, my ex-wife, I spoke to my ex-wife. We'd not spoken for 15 years.
God.
And quite often, I would find them saying to me, well, look, Rich, I'm sorry that and I'm like, I don't need, please don't apologize to me. I appreciate that. I really do. But this is me trying to show you that what I did was unacceptable, and I own that, and I now understand that. And the reason that I was like that, and it's not an excuse, but it's a reason, is because I was suffering from all this stuff that I'm now explaining. And I hope that you understand. And even though you may not be able to forgive me, you might understand, and that I've tried to show you that
you're sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
That you've made change. You're making change.
Yeah. So that's, and it's a difficult one, and it's
heavy, again, isn't it?
Yeah, mate? Searching and fearless, and you've got the support of your sponsor as well. And in the book, it goes through
guiding you through.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, may I stress again, it's where possible.
Yeah.
Make those amends where possible.
Yeah, sure.
And sometimes you might have some people on your amends list that you might. It's going to be a year or two before I get to that. It might, you know what I mean. But it's
so
enlightening.
You don't have to tackle every amends before you move on to the next step.
No, you can
So
you
like
can
an
have some of those.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You can. Yeah, there can be some amends on that, and you may find, I've got to add that one. A new one might come.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And also, what it does then, moving forward, when something happens, like I told you the story about Tracy in the PP carriage that I lost. I didn't lose my temper. I was short with her.
Yeah.
You then go, I need to make an amends for that.
Yeah.
You're taking responsibility because moving forward, if something goes wrong or something happens between you and someone or a group of people, you can take your own responsibility and apologize where necessary.
And also showing empathy, aren't you? Which, when you're in the midst of drinking excessively, taking drugs excessively, can be clouded.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a lovely quality to re-find, and just, you know, the power of apology is endless.
And it's all in the big book as well, which you go through, and it helps with all that process. 10, 11 and 12 are all part of like, right, how you live your life now. So 10 is basically sort of daily accountability. And you're taking personal inventory, you're doing gratitude lists. So you can journal your day. If you know, when you go, okay, this happened today. I wasn't happy with this. This made me feel like this, you know, your part in it, and your gratitude list. What am I grateful for today? It's again, just retraining and keeping your brain healthy into analyzing what's happened. So you don't get that, you're not getting that brain fog, and you're not getting those moments where you go, I can't cope with this. I don't know what to do. And there will be times that it's like, this is too stressful. I don't know what to do. Getting it out of your head. Getting it onto a page.
Huge, isn't it? Onto paper, you know.
And then doing your gratitude list. You know, the things could be as small as I had a nice coffee. I went for a walk, whatever.
All those lovely little pleasures. And Rich, I've got so much respect for you and for people who've gone through the program, because probably like a majority of people listening who are sober curious, or, you know, I didn't know, even now, almost 3 years sober, I don't know how the AA worked, what it really was. And, you know, you're just laying it out there that it's a really helpful device to help you, help your emotions, to help the mistakes you might have made in your life move on and have a happier life. And, you know, it's like fantastic. I really admire you that you've gone through some heavy shit to move forward. And, you know, I know you host meetings. Oh, the leg cross is back.
Oh, there we go. Crossing the leg.
Gosh,
there
look at that.
Yeah.
See, look, my shoes look like a couple of polar bears there in the North Pole. Michael Palin's going to pop in a minute. But I know that you've invited me to a couple of meetings. I will join you, Rich, because, you know, just to show that I've real respect for you. And
you're more than welcome.
And, it could be an experience that helps me. It's not a route that I have chosen to use or go down, but it's one that I respect and admire. I admire the happiness and the peace it's brought you and the people you help, and the millions of people who use AA and the 12 steps. Like, it could be like sticking marshmallows on yourself with blue tack. If it made you happy
and it helped,
who gives a flying fuck?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, in this world, people are so quick to dismiss things they don't know about, that they don't understand. So for me, this has been a really great exercise. Again, I've just sat and listened, Rich. And it's really helped me and given me even bigger respect for you and the people who have gone through your route, Rich. So honestly, thank you.
Mate, thank you. We just got 2 quick ones to go. So step 11 is sort of essentially connection and mindfulness. And you sort through sort of prayer and meditation and reflection to stay grounded and balanced. So on a daily basis, you can pray. Obviously, you don't have to pray to God. It's not a religious cult. As I keep saying, I just need to be emphatic about that. People are God-fearing. In the program, they use that, but you don't have to. So when I say pray, it could be you could even just be to yourself, please help me through this moment. Please help me through the day today. Meditation's a big one. Mindfulness, getting your basically rebalancing, having that moment of peace in your brain and just basically reflecting. And it's just basically how sobriety brings you a calmer way of living. So that is step 11. Again, it's all in the book. It takes you through it. And step 12 is what you've just said about me, which I really appreciate. Step is helping others. You stay sober by giving it away. Someone helped you. My sponsor went through the work with me, went through the steps with me, and then taught me to give it away. Help someone else, help another addict, help someone else that is suffering because somebody helped you. Do you know what I mean? And for me, doing the podcast like this, helping people, us having this conversation, me telling you this may be helping you, but it's also helping me as well. And it's just, it helps to share, it helps to be honest, and it helps to ask someone else, are you all right? Do you know what I mean? Just ask and be available. Someone phones you up and says, I could do with a little help, like a talk. And it might not be about sobriety or drink, or might be about having a tough day with with my father-in-law, or with with someone at work. Can I just talk? Just be available to someone, and that gets you out of yourself, and it helps someone else, and it helps you continue this journey. And They are the 12 steps. They are. It was a shortened version because there's a lot more in the book.
Well, Rich, you've packed it all then and so eloquently as ever. And it's just, yeah, how funny. It's almost like every episode it comes back to the benefits. If you can just open up to somebody.
Yeah.
And I think of how sad I was and the loneliness I felt battling this struggle in my head about excessive drinking for so long, the unhappiness. And if you are listening and you're sober curious and you just feel that there's no way out, there really is.
Yeah.
There really is. We're proof of that.
Yeah.
Yes, we attacked it from different angles, but there's a way forward, and it's like you deserve to be happy. You deserve to feel the calm that, that we feel, even if my bloody drain is blocked, I'm ankle deep in dank water, stinking like old 90s aftershave, that we deserve to be happy.
I agree.
And calm.
It's true.
Just calm.
Peace in the brain and in
the
addiction.
peace. I can't get enough of it. It is bliss. Just being, even if you sat there with your gut out or whatever, the old, middle-aged fat back with your dressing gown on, watching Match of the Day on a Saturday morning as I do.
Yeah.
And that's all you're worried about. Like, should I stick another piece of toast on them? That's a bloody, that for me is happiness. That's a good place to be in and not hungover, dreading life, dreading the feeling of feeling crap. Yeah. No more.
It's true. So that's the 12 steps of recovery. So I hope I've busted some myths there.
Well,
if you need that route, it's available to you. If you need that help, and honestly, it's a very warm, welcoming, open place. Yeah. As I said, there's AA, there's CA, there's NA, there's lots of fellowships, and you might find you go to one or two before you find the one that's right for you. But there will be people to help you. There will be people that have shared the same process, the same journey as you, and they will always welcome you back. So if you do feel you need that route and you need that structure, I'm a big advocate for it. So I just hope that's helped, show people what actually the 12 steps of recovery are.
Thank you, Rich. It's been brilliant. And gosh, you must be feeling a bit thirsty. Should we have a drink?
Let's have our drink of the week.
Here we go. Cheers, mate.
Ben, have that.
Specs on.
Give this one a little shake.
I've just realised, I thought I looked a bit like Ronnie Corbett in The Bins. At this angle, I'm just looking at the monitor here. Maybe a whiff of Michael Caine, but have I done my Michael Caine?
I'll buy that. No, I haven't heard your Michael Caine impression yet.
We're going to try the drink of the week.
Yeah, drink of the week this week. We've gone for a cold drink because often we go for a hot drink, don't we? And we had Authentic Brew on the last episode. Thank
you, by the way, to everyone who's DMing us for the code.
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah, remember, if you want to hear their story, it's a fantastic drink. And if you want 10% off the off of Authentic Brew bundle, then just drop us a DM. That's still on fire. But this week, Rich.
So this is by Daily Dose, and it's a cold pressed juice. This is Glorious Greens by Daily Dose, and in this is apple, cucumber, spinach, courgette, kale, and mint. For any of the YouTube, the monitor there, you can see that in the the monitor there. Give it a little go. It's
Rich,
juice.
We're going to be on fire again.
It says juice, the whole juice, and nothing but the juice.
Shall I go for it?
See where they go on and go for it. See what it's like.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Oh, that's quite.
I like it.
It's quite. I can taste the kale in it. Oh, I can taste the mint actually.
Does this mean I can go down the chippy tonight if I've had my 5 for the day? Look, apple, cucumber, spinach, Popeye arms, courgette, kale, and mint.
I like
Very
that.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd like that. And that's our drink of the week this week by Daily Dose.
Daily Dose. There we go.
Glorious Greens cold pressed juice. You're able to find that online. And get one of those down. Yeah, it's as I said, juice, the whole juice, and nothing but the juice.
Very nice, Rich. Richard, thank you, mate. What a lovely chat. Let's take the specs off. And just again, I admire you, mate.
Thank you.
Your honesty and sharing that route with our listeners and viewers, because I think it's going to help a lot of people, and
I hope it does.
It's been really interesting for me to learn about it. So honestly, thank you.
And as always, send us an email, send us a DM if you want some more information or some suggestions. I can, we can help point you in the right direction. And it's great, obviously, as we said, to talk and open up about it.
Yeah, and Rich, again, love the tea. Do they do it in a double XL for my fat gut?
They probably do, in a variety of colours, so get yourself down Bicester Village.
Aqua blue?
Please like, subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. As we always say, we have to do that bit, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Cheers, Rich.